voyage around the peninsula for Wonsan. It arrived there on 19 October. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel MacArthur by air had established a 10th Corps Advanced CP at Wonsan, but the Marines were not ashore until 28 October, after the harbor had been swept of mines. Beginning on 5 October, the 7th Infantry Division moved overland from the vicinity of Inchon to Pusan, except for some tank units that loaded on LSTs at Inchon. At Pusan, the 7th Division outloaded on ships 17 October, but delayed sailing for many days because of the mined condition of Wonsan Harbor. The division finally left Pusan when it was diverted to unload over the beaches at Iwan, 178 miles north of Wonsan, and take a road from there that led to Hyesanjin on the Yalu. The 17th Regiment of the division unloaded at the Iwan beaches on 29 October and took the road inland. At the time that 10th Corps left Inchon, MacArthur's plan had been that from Wonsan it would move west laterally across the waist of Korea to Pyongyang, while 8th Army at the same time crossed the 38th parallel and advanced north against Pyongyang. The two forces would act as a pincer in closing on the North Korean capital. As late as 16 October, General Almond received orders to attack west from Wonsan toward Pyongyang. The next day, his orders changed. He was then instructed to attack north from Wonsan. The reasons for the change were obvious. While the 10th Corps was moving by sea to Wonsan, 8th Army had by itself captured Pyongyang, entering the city on 19 October. At the same time, the ROK Capital and 3rd Divisions had advanced up the East Coastal Road on foot at a rapid pace. The ROK 3rd Division fought its way through Wonsan on 11 October, and the ROK Capital Division occupied Hungnam and Hamhung, 50 miles north of Wonsan, on 17 October. On 19 October, Almond received final orders to attack north to the border. The next day, he flew by helicopter from the deck of the battleship Missouri to his advanced CP in Wonsan and assumed command of all UN troops in the 10th Corps area north of the 39th parallel and east of the Taebaek Range, a boundary General MacArthur had established on 17 October. On 14 November, a cold front descended over all of North Korea, with temperatures reaching 35 degrees below zero in the 10th Corps area. The next day, the 15th, General MacArthur sent a directive to Almond that changed his mission from driving north to the border to one of turning west to the Manpojin-Kangyi-Wichon Road, which ran south from the Yalu border at Xi'an to cross a low divide to the Chungcheon River drainage. Now 10th Corps could help 8th Army, which would be attacking north up the valley of the Chungcheon on this road toward the border. The 10th Corps was to move west from Udamni on the Chosan Reservoir to intercept this enemy MSR at Mupyeongni. The 1st Marine Division was to carry out the main attack to cut the CCF main supply route. MacArthur's plan called for one Marine regiment to go up the east side of the reservoir to protect that flank of the division in its attack toward Mupyeongni. General Almond had some reservations about MacArthur's plan. He thought the 5th Marine Regiment should be united with the rest of the Marine Division on the west side of the reservoir at Udamni for the attack to the west. To replace it on the east side of the reservoir, he recommended a regimental-sized force from the 7th Division. He sent Lieutenant Colonel Childs, his G3, to Tokyo on 24 November with the proposed change for review. The Far East Command approved the altered plan. The 7th Division now quickly had to scrape together an RCT to replace the 5th Marines on the east side of the reservoir before the 10th Corps attack date of 27 November. General Barr, the 7th Division commander, took elements of the 7th Division closest to the reservoir and hurried them to Chosan to relieve the 5th Marines by 26 November. It was purely an ad hoc group that resulted. His full force never arrived at Chosan. Before Almond could launch the 10th Corps planned attack on 27 November, bad news arrived from the west, where 8th Army had started its part of the general attack on the morning of 24 November. By evening of the next day, the 8th Army advance, without opposition, had reached the places on all avenues of approach where Chinese forces had been in hiding. The Chinese now